Good morning.
There's no countdown on that one, so I never know when it's going to pop on.
And then the song just ends, and then it starts again, which is like a pet peeve of mine. Like intro songs that are truly intro songs, and they have an ending, and then they restart. That drives me crazy. But when I'm in control, I can handle it. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kickoff show for November 16th. I think this name will probably last through the week, and then we'll have a new name for next week. I'm leaning towards the morning-ish report because there's that Disney connection, but it's only morning-ish because it's already 1 o'clock on the East Coast. But we will see. We will see. All right. My name is Doobie Moseley. This is the show in which we look back at yesterday's highlights and look forward to what's coming up today. My co-host today, for good reason, 2 days in a row, is Kyle Burbank, managing member of Nothing Place. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well.
All right. Well, let's start each day. We have some huge news to talk about. We're going to start today like we start every day with me remembering to share a screen and then looking at Disney's share price, which right now is at $94.37, down 1.2% today. But we have to compare it to the market to know if that means anything. The market as a whole is only down 0.5%. So Disney's struggling a little bit. Kyle, I know you have all of your retirement savings in this stock. How do you feel right now about things?
Not all. I don't look every day. It's a long-term play. So as long as the company doesn't implode, we'll be just fine. Although it is kind of funny because the news we're about to talk about in terms of them, selling things, you think that'd be good news, but I guess because they've said, oh, well, we have other levers we can pull if things get bad, and then they're pulling that lever. I don't know if that's sending the right message.
The lever is being pulled, apparently. All right.
Well, the lever cronk.
All right, so on to our big news, which is, so yesterday, our big news was Walt Disney World is raising prices of their tickets in general, but also their annual passes and not resuming sales. And then the very next day, Disneyland resumed sales of their annual pass, aka Magic Key. So give us the rundown on that, Kyle.
So yeah, these haven't been available. So they were phased out, but no Magic Keys have been available for new sales since May. Other ones, like I said, had previously sold out before that. So they've been open since August for renewals. And now 3 of the 4 will be available for new sales. The only one that's not available for new sales is the Enchant Key, which is still open for renewals. So you have your SoCal exclusive Imagine Key, and that is $449. Believe Key is $10.99, and the Inspire Key is $15.99. And so you can get any of these. There's currently a queue that says more than an hour. It might be longer now because I've been in the queue for about 50 minutes, and I'm still at more than an hour.
As am I, yes.
So yes, the Enchant Key is the only one that's not available for new. And these prices are higher than last time they were on for new sales, but these do match the prices that were announced in August for the renewals. The difference is some people are thinking they actually lowered the price, and that's not the case. The difference is that if you look at the monthly payment option for renewals, it's lower. Or sorry, the renewal price looks like it's larger, and this one looks like it's smaller. But that's because if you're buying a pass, you do need to put $179 down. So that obviously affects your monthly payments. Whereas if you're renewing, you don't need to do another down payment. So that monthly payment is going to be a bit higher.
Sounds to me like they're punishing us for renewing by making us make higher monthly payments.
It's not the case at all. They're actually rewarding you by not having to put $179 down. And in case you're wondering, that $179 is what the most expensive one day, one park ticket costs. Their tier 6 is $179. That's where that doesn't just come out of nowhere.
And as a reminder, the highest level key now at Disneyland, which would be the Inspire Key, no longer works every single day of the year. They actually have blackout days that are unavoidable now during the busiest time between Christmas, right around Christmas, leading up to New Year's.
And you do still need to make reservations. So it is subject to availability.
Yes. So I just wanted to get to a little bit of the reaction out there. This dropped at exactly 8:30 a.m. exactly 8:30 a.m. This morning. And obviously the internet was swift to react. Speaking of swift, my favorite reaction here, I'm going to sit through the queue to try and purchase a Magic Key and Taylor Swift tickets today. My mental health is going by the end of this week. So that was Taylor AF. appropriately enough.
You've seen the thing about the Taylor Swift tickets yesterday, right?
When I went to my morning TikTok, that's when I learned about this whole Taylor Swift thing yesterday.
And that was just the pre-sales.
So thank you, TikTok, for keeping me hip. I was listening to one of my sports shows yesterday, and someone was talking about Instagram Reels and how great they are. And they said their children taught them Instagram Reels were TikTok 2 weeks later. That cracked me up. Let's see. Taylor's not the only one who's suffering through that procedure. Get there. Because the Taylor queues didn't mentally destroy me enough. Now I'm waiting on a screen to enter a Disney queue to get my boyfriend a Magic Key. That's from Brent Hanna. So yes, I am tired of virtual queues. You have Tony's heart with that. More interesting to me.
Sounds like a good girlfriend.
Well, yeah. Yours would do that for you, right?
I don't have a girlfriend, but yes.
You know what I mean. Your wife. You had
gonna get me in trouble, Doobie.
All right, but this one's interesting. This is from DCA Plus, DCA Out Loud. Reading people's questions about the Magic Key program are heartbreaking because I totally get how confusing it is. So can you only visit 6 times a year? What is this Magic Key, and when do annual passes come back? Does this come with fast passes? Magic Key, as confusing as things are, Magic Key just seems like let's make it even more confusing by changing the name of the exact same thing, but only on one coast.
And changing it to just nonsense words that you're like, I don't know which is higher than the other one here.
What makes Inspire better than Imagine?
I don't know. But also, I would argue that Magic Key is one of the lesser confusing things about visiting the Disney parks these days.
Yes, try living in Florida, dealing with that. Believe it or not, dynamic pricing by park has not come to the Disneyland Resort, which is fascinating since the delta between DCA and Disneyland is humongous. All right, so Kyle is in queue right now. Do you actually plan to buy one, or are you just checking out the queue?
I'm just doing my job.
All right, so
which I feel a little bit bad about, that I'm taking a spot away from somebody else. But actually, I'm taking 3 spots because I have one on my phone and one in incognito and one in regular. So it does look like my mobile is moving faster, but the time is the same, and it also could just be the dimensions of the screen makes it look like it's further. I don't know.
Well, I am going to help the situation. I am going to officially exit the queue now because I am also not buying one. And
but I do like how they say that the passes were going to go on sale no earlier than 9. And I believe the first time that I got a quote about the queue being open was 9:15 or so, that you could join the pre-queue, I guess is what it would be. You could click the link and it would put you in the queue once it opened. Before that, but
Kyle will keep an eye on his queue, and if he should get in, we will, interrupt whatever we are doing and make sure you know that.
Still says more than an hour. I hopefully we don't make it.
More than an hour. The show will not go on that long. We're hoping your quote is just a conservative quote. All right, Strange World, the social embargo. When these movies get previewed to critics, often a few weeks ago, they are limited in what they can say until the social embargo lifts, and they can put out a tweet about it. And then eventually the review embargo lifts and they can put out their full review. So last night, the social embargo lifted. We did about a half-hour show on that, which was really fun, actually, more fun than it had any right to be. And let's take a look. We also do articles on LP when that happens. So just a quick look at, if you want to see that show, it's right there in the article. The reviews overall were, I would say, not as stellar as I would have thought. Often the people we get to see at the earliest are the most enthused, and then as time goes on, the overall reviews kind of come down a bit. But these are already down a bit. There are a lot of lukewarm reviews. Very few that I saw that were really excited.
Even our own.
How about you, Kyle?
Yeah,
even our own.
Yeah, I watched your stream last night, and I saw you mention like you couldn't quite tell if Alex's review was positive or not. And I would argue it's not, because he didn't say that he enjoyed it. He's just like, these two are good. So I think he's finding a silver lining there and trying to find a positive. So yeah, it's kind of like we were talking about. There's not a bunch of hype for this, and it doesn't seem like there's, maybe, I don't know if that was intentional because they knew that it was kind of I know that we've had tons of pandemic productions at this point, but maybe this one was like the most in the thick of it, where the development just wasn't quite there. Who knows?
So we have a schedule, but we are nimble on our feet here at the Kickoff show because
Go to boss's hand.
We have a guest. So can the boss hear me? And if so, can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready? I think that's a thumbs up. Yes, it is.
It's a blurry, choppy thumbs up.
All right. We may not go here long. The stream is not that great. But right now at the IAPPA convention, which stands for
International Amusements and something or other.
It stands for International Association of Amusement Parks and Attraction Expo. Well, attractions, and then the IAPPA Expo is going on. Our CEO, Benjamin Breitbart, is there to bring us a live view of what's going on. How you doing, Ben?
He's muted.
You have muted yourself, Ben. Oh, it says your mic isn't connected.
Well, this is what the show floor looks like.
So right now we are walking around the Orlando Convention Center. We see, based on how people are dressed, it's not that warm. And now you're seeing me. So going back to our show.
Thrilling.
Sorry about that. Shanghai Disneyland has reopened. Where is that? Shanghai Disneyland is reopening. Not have reopened. We will reopen tomorrow, although I don't know when tomorrow actually is in China.
I think they're like 16 hours ahead, but I also don't recall if that's from Pacific or from my time. So
they may be open already. If not, they will be opening soon. Disney Town, which is what, their downtown Disney, correct?
Yes.
Wishing Star Park, what is that?
So that is a public accessible area. It's just a big loop. There's some place. It's basically like just a park. It attached to the back of the Disneyland Hotel and to Disney Town. But yeah, it's just a nice, probably like a couple mile loop around a lake with some playgrounds and some other things along the way.
All right. And of course, Shanghai Disneyland Hotel, not of course, also the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel will reopen, as well as the park itself. You may remember when they closed a little bit ago, some people actually got trapped in the park until they could take care of the COVID issues. Do we know, are those people still in the park, and are they going to be the first to be there?
I think they're probably out. I know the park is not reopening yet.
Oh, the park is not reopening yet.
No, it's just those three: the Wishing Star, Disney Town, and Shanghai Disney Hotel.
I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second to make a quick correction. On the panel right over there, where it says Shanghai Disneyland is reopening.
The parts of Shanghai Disney Resort are opening.
Yeah, that's not what I said. So eventually that'll be your job, Kyle, because I make mistakes. Wow, I'm glad you mentioned that. So that's tomorrow, and no word yet on when Shanghai Disneyland will be reopening, but hopefully it's not too far off.
Yeah, these things are, you think there'd be more. When they were first reopening, it was very much a, months in advance, like all of this thing. Now it's kind of switch on, switch off sort of a situation over there, because they've closed like 3 or 4 times at this point.
I like how the breaking news over there literally, it scrolls through whatever the breaking news is. And while we were talking about that, it said Shanghai Disneyland to reopen. So hopefully people were listening and they got to hear the correction, because we strive for accuracy here. Apparently. All right.
Apparently we strive for it.
We strive for it. Ben has not come back. We're going to continue. We talked about Strange World, Shanghai. Disney 100 exhibit is... So this is an exhibit that's coming in February to the Franklin Museum. Is that accurate, Kyle?
Yeah, so it's coming starting at the Franklin Museum. It will be going to other places. I don't remember all of them. I know Kansas City is one of them, because I'm not too far from there. So yeah, the Franklin, they've done a ton of Disney exhibits in the past, at least 2 or 3 I can think of offhand, but they are premiering this new exhibit. And so this morning they gave a preview of 5 of the items, archival items that will be on display as part of this. And here they are. So yeah, one of them is a name tag that first belonged to Walt Disney. And there's a whistle that was used in the creation of Steamboat Willie. And I didn't read the other ones, but here we go. We have the prop from Snow White, the book at the beginning.
Book, right. A lightsaber hilt from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, which, as everyone knows, is the best trilogy in the whole Star Wars trilogy. And Tommy Kurt's enchanted ring from the Shaggy Dog So
One of these
clearly,
things is not like the other.
exactly what I was going to say.
They're just showing you the breadth of this exhibit. You have everything from Walt Disney's name tag to a thing no one remembers from a movie that people don't even think is. They confuse Shaggy Dog and Shaggy DA.
Wait, they're not the same?
Well, isn't the Hearts Are a Couple? I don't know. See, I don't even know.
Is this the? Oh, it's the Tommy Kirk version. It's not the Tim Allen version.
No, not the
Disney Legend. We got more. So we also showed some concept art from some of the galleries. So if you're watching LPTV, we've got a nice piece of content that shows all of this stuff, and I'm sure this will be an article on LP soon, as I think Alex is out there right now.
So tickets for this exhibit also went on sale today. It kicks off in February at the Franklin. Like I said, it will be touring the country after that to a few other museums.
And speaking of tickets for Strange World went on sale yesterday.
Yep.
So make sure if you are interested in seeing that film in theaters, as all films are meant to be seen, go grab those tickets. Next up on our agenda, we've got a busy day here at LP. The Disney 100 exhibit, which we just talked about. There is at the International Association of PAA, there is a Epcot panel going on at 1 p.m. Pacific today, and our guys will be there to get whatever comes out of that. There's not necessarily news that comes out of those usually, but it is very, very interesting hearing what the Imagineers or whoever is there has to say about things. And often sometimes you can kind of read between the lines and glean some insight. And our CEO will be there. If anyone is very good at reading between the lines, it is he. Over. And then also today at 1 p.m., we have another social embargo listing, this time for Willow, which is a television show that will be streaming on Disney Plus pretty soon as in November 30th. It is a series. It is a series, not a one-timer. And our guys got to see critics got to see the first 2 episodes, I believe. And the social embargo lifts at 1:00. So we'll, of course, cover that on laughingplace.com. And I do plan to go live at 1:15 and see what the socials have to say about that, like we did about Strange World yesterday. That guy looked a lot like Christian Slater. Wow. And then at 9:30 p.m. tonight, which is later, we have another social embargo lifting, 9:30 p.m. Pacific, and that is for Disenchanted. Amy Adams, you remember her from The Office. She has a new movie coming out called Disenchanted, a sequel to the hit film Enchanted, but this one's going straight to Disney Plus on November 24th. And this is a film, not a series. And again,
which is earlier than Willow.
It is.
Mention. We have to make sure people know how time works.
And this isn't a Christmas movie. It's just a movie appropriate.
It's probably got, Christmas overtones.
So this is a fun film. It looks like, the original was fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I'm a little sad it's not in theaters, but maybe it'll get me to subscribe to Disney Plus.
Maybe it'll be at El Capitan.
That doesn't help me much.
Well, who knows, actually.
But I'm looking forward to it. And so the social embargo will lift on that at 9:30 tonight Pacific. I'll probably be live at about 9:45, and we will go through what the socials have to say about Disenchanted and see if the zeitgeist is any better than Strange World, which I can't believe I did not call Strange Magic one time during the show yesterday. I put myself on the back right there. So, Kyle, of those two, Willow and Disenchanted, which are you most looking forward to?
I've never seen the first Enchanted, and I've never seen the Willow movie. So,
you've never seen Enchanted?
I've never seen Enchanted. I guess I would say Disenchanted because it's a lower investment of time.
Make it a double feature, Kyle.
Of Enchanted and Disenchanted? Yeah, that seems doable.
It's a very good movie. Very sweet. And it's got the lady from The Office.
And it's got Disney legend Idina Menzel.
Yes, it does. Who? She's in something else. Frozen, right?
Yes.
She's in Frozen. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, let me check on something real quick over here. IAPPA is not working out with the live report. The internet connection is just not good enough. We have someone else who is in a theme park, and I'm hoping they get to a location where they can check in, but thus far not.
Well, IAPPA is a theme park convention, so they have to keep within the bounds of theme park technology, and that's why I can't get a good connection.
IAPPA, so it is far and away not just a Disney thing. Disney's a part of it, but it's a very small part of it. So SeaWorld yesterday at IAPPA unveiled vehicles for 2 upcoming coasters. And it's cool because at IAPPA, you like walk up there, you touch the vehicle, you can really get a good look at it because this is an industry convention. And have you ever been to IAPPA, Kyle?
No, never have.
They have everything from benches to different kinds of foods. Anything that would be in an amusement park is at IAPPA on exhibit, and you can go check it out. It's a fascinating look at how the nitty gritty of these places get done.
Trade shows are very interesting. Like same thing with like CinemaCon, which used to be called Show West, where you're not just going to go see movies. You're going to go, if you want to, you can taste different popcorn flavors that things you're trying to sell. So it's like you're saying, it's very granular in ways you might not think about.
Which is really cool. I find that fascinating. So we are reporting from IAPPA all week long, including we had a report on SeaWorld unveiling new ride vehicles. Here's another picture of it. Those are some cool vehicles, really cool vehicles. So all kinds of innovation happening over there. All right, on to some fun stuff real quick. Yesterday, Kyle surprised me with having some real connections to the fun stuff without even knowing what they were. So I'm anxious to see what connections Kyle gets today. So this day in history in 2006, Mary Poppins, the incredible Broadway musical, opened at the New Amsterdam Theater. What do you have to say about that, Kyle?
New Amsterdam is New York. That's what New York used to be. There you go. Fact. No,
things I learned from what's the name of the band?
What?
What's the name of the band?
Which band?
That sings that song? No,
A Whole New World? What are you talking about?
Old New York is new, but that's nobody's business but the Turks.
Oh, that. So I do have a fun connection. My in-laws are in Istanbul right now, not Constantinople. No, it's Istanbul.
Okay, and therefore your wife is in Cleveland.
Yep, that's how that works.
And we have a connection to Mary Poppins. Thank you very much.
I don't know if I'd call it a connection. It's one that we made because of.
But still, what's the name of the band? It's driving me crazy.
I don't know about the band. I know that they did a version on Muppets Tonight.
Oh my goodness, this is driving me crazy. This is not good TV.
Sorry. Sorry, viewer.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. They might be giants. Are you not familiar with this song? I mean, you are because you're just saying Istanbul. Not one of the lines is even old New York was once New Amsterdam.
Gotcha. That's a Mike Celestino thing. He would have known it off the bat.
When I know something like that you don't, I start to worry about myself. All right, 2004, Stitch's Great Escape opened at the Magic Kingdom, which is most known for what, Kyle?
Chili dog breath.
Okay, that is
that
fair.
Correct?
That is not what I was thinking.
Replacing this being called the worst attraction at
that
Disney
is also
World
not what I was thinking. The grand opening ceremony for that. And
the toilet papering of the.
That's right. I'm
going
to pull up a picture here from Disney, so I can use it guilt-free. And yes, they TP'd the castle. They graffitied the castle. People who made that their one and only lifetime trip to the Magic Kingdom got to see a TP'd graffiti Cinderella castle that day.
What's really unfortunate is that toilet paper is probably more comfortable than the stuff they actually put in the restrooms.
I know people who bring their own toilet paper to the park. Are you one of those people?
I don't bring it to the park because I don't usually have to go at the park.
I should have said to the resort.
Okay, to the resort. Yes, I always pack a roll of toilet paper whenever I travel. Charmin. I am those bears. Super soft or super strong? I can go either way, but I do super soft usually.
I prefer the super strong. Is the person down there ready? All right. We have someone from Walt Disney World. We couldn't get IAPPA, but we could get Walt Disney World. How you doing, Rebekah?
Hey, honey. How are you?
I am doing great. Let me guess. You are at the Grand Floridian.
I am about to go refresh my gingerbread. Yes. I've consumed the gingerbread that I purchased at the beginning of the trip. I need to go purchase more gingerbread. So I found an area way off to the side. so as to not get in the way of any of the guests here. But hello.
How does someone who was up till at least 3 o'clock this morning look as good as you?
Oh, thank you. You're very thoughtful.
So what did you do last night?
Oh, okay. So there's a YouTube channel, Everyday Astronaut. I can't say enough good things about their coverage of the Space Coast and just space flight in general right now. So he amateur enthusiast like us, but in the world of space. So was watching his channel as the Artemis 1 prepared for launch out on the coast. Cape Canaveral is only about 40 minutes away. And when we got to the terminal countdown, meaning kind of a go, no go, when they hit that go, journeyed out, stepped outside, and it was like the sun was rising off in the distance, and then this flame was just rising out of the sky. My footage doesn't even begin to do it justice, because you really could tell that there was a vehicle with flame out the back, you know, in that night sky. And then as it rose higher and higher into the air, the skies were very clear where I was. And so as it faded off into the distance, it became like a little star almost. And so you could see the moon, you could see the Artemis mission, and then you could see, you know, Orion's belt and other constellations. So yeah, just, I'm so happy. You and I had traveled out to an amazing restaurant on the, I want to say it's the river out there. And we had taken pictures of Artemis sitting out, and the Orion space vessel sitting out on the launch pad there at Kennedy, because even you can even see it without going onto the actual Kennedy property when they're sitting out on the pad, because there's such enormous structures, and you know, right by that water's edge, and so you can get a nice view. So we had seen it sitting out on the launch pad there, and just to then be able to be here when it finally was able to successfully launch, super exciting. And I don't know if you have the picture ready, but then Facebook reminded me that it was actually 13 years ago today that I was wheeling our little son in his stroller to the Magic Kingdom, and happened to enjoy the shuttle Atlantis launch. And you can see there's Walt and the partner statue, and off in the distance there is the shuttle Atlantis launching. This was in the midst of a Mickey show, so it was very funny to have Mickey and the gang performing on stage, and everybody just kind of pivot and look off to the right.
Including Walt, he just turned around. It was great.
Yes, it was amazing. just stunning. So I don't know. It's just one of those Space Coast living things. There's this, you know, the optimism, the excitement of exploration. This is our first step towards return to the moon, and then obviously there are space projects hoping for Mars as well. So.
And so I know UCF, University of Central Florida, they put out a picture of what it was like, right, from their location. Unfortunately, Disney has not yet put one. We really hope they have the foresight to have some photography going on.
Right. I mean, because I was thinking, I was going through it. I was like, I would love like a part, like where I saw that, because Atlantis would have taken off from a similar launch pad location, but I don't know if the trajectory would have been similar. But wouldn't it be cool to have that, you know, with Artemis or Mission Space? I've watched the shuttle launch kind of in the area of Mission Space. So yeah,
Something.
hopefully.
One would hope they did. I just checked just in case something just came out. It is not. Before we let you go back to your gingerbread, so we're at the part of our show where we do this day in Disney history. Do you know where you were this day in 2004?
2004?
I will give you a hint.
Oh, really? It was when Stitch toilet papered the Magic Kingdom.
It was this one.
And we had didn't we have like dancing Elvi out on stage too?
Yes,
at some
that's
point?
right. Dancing Elvapotami, yes. Elvapotami Presley.
And that was, as I recall, that was the only time that we ever saw the alien Stitch as like a walk around with like 6 arms. Like, or is it 6? Yeah. No, I think it's 4 arms. Yeah.
So and this was somebody's only time to see Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom in their entire lifetime. which is why probably they don't do stuff quite like this anymore. All right. Well, thanks, hon.
Wait, before you go on, do you remember they also had like a caution tape van over by Disney Springs that was really catching people's attention too? And it was a very interesting dynamic, interesting marketing choices.
That I don't remember. Also, when I was looking up this day in history, I did not remember that Turtle Talk with Crush also opened on this day, apparently. So we probably had seen a preview before this, so maybe that's why I didn't stick in our head. Because I remember this is the day that we saw Stitch's Great Escape for the first time. The famous line, "Don't you hate when they do that to the characters?" That's my memory of seeing this attraction, is someone asking you that, and I don't even know what they were talking about. I just remember that. I had a chibi mini backpack. Okay.
And I got berated by some passionate guests who felt that I was contributing to the destruction of the Disney company by embracing unique representations of Minnie Mouse. But
your memory is better than mine. Well, thanks a lot. Get some gingerbread. What is today?
I will.
Wednesday? I get to see you in 3 days. I'm very excited.
I know. I'm very, very excited too. Lunch at Sanaa, and then tonight I'm hoping to see Fantasmic if the weather cooperates.
Are you getting bread service?
Most likely.
Send a picture
Most
to our child.
likely. That's the wrong answer. The answer is yes.
Oh, by the way, I ate at Kona last night. Fantastic.
Does it look much different? That's a good point.
Yes. Drastically different. It's so clean and modern. The other felt very dated.
Did you get pot stickers?
I'm sorry, I didn't get pot stickers.
So here's a look at the new Kona. I'm sure we'll have this on our site later today.
Yeah. So I miss the kitschiness, I guess, didn't it have like the big fans? That's my memory. There were like these big fans that
moved like a mile a day or something.
Right. Yeah. But So, but the color scheme is really pretty.
It looks so different.
Yeah, it's very reflective of kind of what they've done with the hotel rooms there too. Very, very sleek. The choices of wood colors and modernizing, just a modernizing of the location. But the food was tremendous. Our server Dwayne was delightful. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool. So look for that up on LP hopefully later today, as Kona Cafe just reopened yesterday after a bit of an extensive refurb. Rebekah will be at Sanaa today, where she'll be making her son jealous of her bread service. And who knows, tomorrow's Life Day. You're certain to see Rebekah tomorrow from Hollywood Studios. So
Yep.
Thanks for making time for us, hon.
Bye. Time for gingerbread.
Yes. We have breaking news apparently. Kyle, give us an update.
29 minutes.
We are now under an hour, 29 minutes.
On my phone. So when Rebekah came on, I checked and it was 55. So it's fallen since then. It went down to 33, then up to 39. Now it's making its way back down. Still over an hour on both of my desktop ones.
All right, just finishing up here this day in Disney history. My goal is for this to be a half-hour show every day. We've yet to get there, but we're working on it. Rescuers Down Under. Wrong video. Rescuers Down Under opened on this day in 1990, which means one question must be asked. Kyle, Renaissance or not?
Yeah, I'd say it's Renaissance. I have fond memories of it because this is one of the first movies I don't remember seeing it in theaters, but I remember that I saw it in theaters, if that makes any sense. So I was 4 years old when this came out. So, still pretty young. I also kind of remember going to see some of I think this might have been one of the first new Disney movies that I saw, because up until then I had seen some of the re-releases that they did like every 7 years. So this, as a kid, was one of my first new Disney animated features.
And then finally, on this day, 100 years ago, 1922. Do you know who this is, Kyle?
No.
This is Royal Dano. Do you know who Royal Dano is?
Royal, I would have thought his name was pronounced Royal Dano. So it shows how much I know.
So here's what I learned. I learned this name on a one of those tours Disneyland gives, not the basic tour, but the history tour. Mm-hmm. And they said it's Dano. It's easy to remember because it rhymes with Drano. And that's what I learned from tour guide Annalise about 25 years ago. So it's stuck in my head. Royal Dano was the original voice of Mr. Lincoln, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And
That's why I know it.
also a very well-known actor. This picture is from The Trouble with Harry, which I believe is an Alfred Hitchcock film from 1955. So, Royal Dano, happy birthday. You passed away in 1994. You're not hearing this, but happy birthday anyway, 100 years ago. 100 years old today. Kyle, anything else you'd like to mention before we end this thing?
If you're trying to get your Magic Key sale on, go ahead and try to join that queue. I will post screenshots once I get in. It doesn't look like anything has sold out yet, so I don't really anticipate that it will, but you never know. I think it'll probably get easier if you're gonna buy one and you don't, absolutely need it. Maybe wait a little bit. You can see my dog in the back sniffing around now.
Yeah, if they brought this back for them to even at all sell out on the first day, that would be sad. They can make sure they have enough of a backlog to last a few days. I'm just checking the Twitters real quick, and I do not see anyone tweeting with the word Magic Key in it that has successfully purchased one yet.
Feels like somebody has, but I guess that person's not on Twitter, so
yeah,
I don't know what they're doing with their life. Maybe they're on TikTok. They're doing a TikTok, I got a Magic Key dance or something.
Sorry, I'm just doing a quick. So yeah, I don't see anything about them not being available anymore or anything about anyone successfully getting them. But if the wait is going down, hopefully somebody is.
Yep, I'm at 24 minutes, and it says the only thing that it says at the bottom is that the each enchant key is not available for new sales, which we already knew before before it happened. So,
all right. So that's today's kickoff show. This is so we plan to do one tomorrow and Friday, and then come Monday we'll have a new name because I hate this name. But that's today's kickoff show. Thanks for joining us. Thanks again, Kyle, for being a guest. Hopefully there are no new ticketing announcements tomorrow, and you can actually do your normal work in this hour.
That'd be nice.
But I do appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you all in the future.
Bye.